Hello, Lyndhurst. Welcome to Lyndhurst Community News. Today is Wednesday, December 6th. This is episode 35. I'm Brian Haggerty, and we're going to talk about what's going on in our township this week. We've actually got a lot to report on. But before we do, don't forget, if you have any news for your club, your church, your school, your organization, your team, whatever it may be, as well as birthdays and anniversaries of note, make sure you send it in to LyndhurstCommunityNews at gmail.com for inclusion in our weekly broadcast. Now, that email address is also in the description box below, so just scroll down. If you're watching on YouTube, scroll down underneath. You'll see it right there. You may need to expand the window, but it'll be right there. All right, I want to start off with some exciting news right from Lyndhurst High School. Now, we want to wish a very big congratulations to senior Julia Todsdeman on signing her national letter of intent to Sacred Heart University, where she is going to play track and field. Now, that's a great Christmas present for Julia and her family, and I know how proud her family, friends, and her coaches must be. So, great work, Julia. Again, congratulations. We love to hear good news like that. And in more high school news, the high school bowling team started off the new season by sweeping Harrison 7-0. Very good way to start off the season. Congratulations, team. Now we have some news from our police department. Mayor and Public Safety Commissioner Robert Giangiarusso and Chief of Police Richard Jarvis had the honor of swearing in officers Nicholas Coviello Jr., Thomas Golda, and Vincent DiNicola as new officers of the Lyndhurst Police Department family. This past week, Chief Jarvis attended the Bergen County Police Chiefs Foundation's second annual holiday wreath ceremony in other news. And this was held for our heroes at the Paramus Veterans Home. Now, this week was to honor the over 80,000 departed veterans throughout Bergen County. Chief Jarvis received our township's wreath at the ceremony and honorably transported it home and placed it on display, along with Sergeant Reyna and Officer D'Alessandro at the Veterans Memorial, which is located on the southeast corner of Delafield Avenue and New York Avenue. Even more Lyndhurst Police news. So this week, members of the Lyndhurst Police Department's Crisis Negotiation Team and Emergency Management Response Team attended the New York City Police Department and New York Association of Hostage Negotiators' 7th annual 3-day conference. The conference was held at the NYPD Police Academy in Queens, New York, where officers from these units had the opportunity to network and learn from past incidents that occurred both nationally and internationally. These units within our department train extensively and work cohesively to de-escalate serious incidents. And that's true. We have an unbelievably well-trained police department. All of our first responders in this township are incredibly well-trained. That's why we're so proud of them. And finally, congratulations to Officer Eddie Montoya on receiving the AAA Northeast Traffic Safety Hero Award yesterday at the annual AAA Awards luncheon. So congratulations, Officer Montoya. Now, by the way, if you or someone you know are looking for part-time work, there are 2 part-time positions open in the Department of Public Safety. The first position is that of part-time crossing guard. The second position is that of a part-time property maintenance inspector. Now, for both positions, applicants must be able to pass a pre-employment physical, a mandatory drug test, and criminal background check. Applications are available on the Township of Lyndhurst website at www.lyndhurstnj.org. Just look under where it says Forms and then Personnel. Print it out and fill it out if you wish. Completed applications can be dropped off at the Lyndhurst Tax Office at 367 Valley Brook Avenue, or they may be placed into the locked drop box located in the back of the town hall by the Lyndhurst Police Department entrance. Hurry up, though. The application deadline is December 31st. Now, don't forget, this Saturday is a super big holiday celebration in town, beginning at 3 p.m. with the First Responders Santa Parade, in which our police, fire, and EMTs will be escorting Santa throughout the town as Santa's helpers hand out candies to the children. The parade is then followed by the 18th annual Holiday in the Park, which begins at 5:30 p.m. Santa will, of course, be at the park as well. And there will be lots going on there, including the tree lighting, which will be at 7 p.m. But one of the best things that evening, I believe, will be the performance of the Lyndhurst High School Chorale. Now, they're going to be performing Christmas songs. Now, if you have not heard them, do yourself a favor and go hear them. I'm going to have more about them. I was visiting with them yesterday. I'm going to have a little bit more later, interviewing the teachers in charge of the band and the chorale. But more on that later. So anyway, so I might as well leave right into the story then. Yesterday, I had the absolute pleasure to visit Lyndhurst High School and was able to hear both the chorale and the band perform a few holiday songs, which I recorded. Now, I'm going to play the songs the week of Christmas, so I'm going to save them for our Christmas episode right before Christmas. But I was able to speak with Ms. Wise, who is the chorale director, and Mr. Chwalik, who is the band director. Now, my original intention was to play this interview on the same episode where I play the recordings. But as we were doing the interview, I realized that so many important events and dates are coming up this weekend and early next week. So as you will hear me say this in the interview, I had to air this interview today because I don't want anyone to miss out on what's happening this weekend and next week with the chorale and the band. But I will save the recordings. Wait till you hear these recordings, folks. I'm going to tell you how talented they are. First of all, the chorale is incredible. As a musician myself, I have an ear for music. And so I can hear when somebody hits a wrong note. I didn't hear a single wrong note being sung. They are phenomenal. And the band also played Sleigh Ride, which is a very challenging piece. And they were amazing. So we're going to save those recordings, though, for our Christmas week episode. But now, let's switch over to yesterday's interview. Let me just bring it in here. And here we go. All right, I am sitting here in the chorale room at the Lyndhurst High School, and I'm very much happy to be joined by Miss Wise and Mr. Chwalik. And they're gonna tell you about what's coming up here in the holiday season here with the Lyndhurst High School with the band as well as the chorus, whose music you just heard, and they are spectacular. We are very excited, and I'm very excited to see what's coming next. So let us know what's going on.
Thank you, Mr. Haggerty. Thanks for coming here today. We really enjoyed
having you
during our rehearsals. The first thing I want to talk about are some of our upcoming performances. This coming Saturday, the chorale will be performing at the Town Tree Lighting Winter Festival. And even bigger than that, on the 12th of December at Lyndhurst Middle School, both concert band and chorale, joined by jazz band and select choir and concert choir, will be performing our holiday winter concert at 7 p.m. And we have a whole lot of music we're looking forward to performing for our public.
Following that performance, if you can't make it out to that, we do have coming up the jazz band and chorale will be performing on January 27th at a Vinnie Mutz fundraiser for the Lyndhurst Music Association. If you'd like to support our effort to bring our students to faraway places to perform, we try to bring the students to various places to get out there and get our sound and get Lyndhurst on the map. This year we're bringing our students to Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, where the band and chorale will be performing. So we're very excited about that. So January 27th, you can buy tickets to our Vinnie Mutz fundraiser. You'll hear the jazz band and chorale perform there. And if you can't make the winter concert, of course, we have our big spring concert in April. So be on the lookout for more information about that. And thank you again, Mr. Haggerty, for being here today and featuring our students. We're very proud of them. And I think if anyone can make it out to the performances, it would be, I think they'll have a great time. I really do.
I very much agree, but I realize, too, that since all of these dates are coming up in the next week, that this interview is going to have to be on tomorrow's episode. Or we'll be talking about everything in the past tense. So we'll put the interview on this week, and next week we will feature the live performances that we recorded today. So thank you both for having me, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now you see why I had to make sure that we aired that interview today, because between the concert coming up on Tuesday, as well as appearing at the Town Hall Park tree lighting ceremony, I wanted to make sure everybody who would like to come out and hear these incredibly talented youngsters play and sing had the opportunity to do so. And we're going to be going back there sometime in the spring to do some more recording. They're that good. I really enjoy listening to them, and I know you will too. All right, so now here's the last thing to talk about. This isn't necessarily news, but many of you have been asking me. Now, some of you remember back in September, I mentioned my marinara recipe, and I offered many people on Facebook as well as here to sample it, to give it a try. And I was running all over town, making deliveries, and I wanted to thank all of you who did try it, because I very much appreciate the feedback. In fact, I used all the feedback to make some slight adjustments to the marinara, but actually the only adjustments I made were regarding the amount of seasoning. Some people like things with a kick, some people don't. So I dialed it down, and since so doing, I'm receiving 5 stars across the board from everybody. Now, I did complete the state course on food management, and I passed the test. But as far as selling this commercially, it's really too big of a deal, frankly, at least right now, and it would become pretty much a second career with a lot of work, and I'm not interested in that right now. However, I do love making it, and of course you can give it away all you want or donate it. And I know many of you asked to order some for the holidays. So, of course, I can't sell it. So instead, I saw it as a great opportunity to do it through the American Legion as a fundraiser for the Legion, which I do quite often. I use the marinara to make mussels marinara or to make spaghetti marinara, and people come down, and whatever they pay for the dinner, the money proceeds go right to the Legion. So I said, well, why not do the same thing with the marinara? And being that the holidays are coming up, let me give everyone an opportunity to order it. So for those of you who would like to order some for the upcoming holidays, you could either call and order at the American Legion, just give your name and how many containers that you want. They come in 24-ounce containers, which is what you would get in the store, the size of those jars. Or just send me an email here, and it's a $10 donation to the American Legion for each container. And by the way, it's always freshly made, so this is why I don't make it all the time. I make a whole bunch of batches one day, package them, and get them out there to the people's homes. So be sure to tell me the date by which you need it. You could either pick it up at the American Legion. It'll be left in the refrigerator with your name on it. Or in certain cases, if you know me personally, I'm happy to drop it off to you, because it's always nice to see friends. And also, by the way, a lot of you have been telling me that you've used or plan on using the services of Steve G's Home Improvement Services. He's right here in town. I can vouch for him. He's phenomenal, and those of you who've used him have said the same thing. He's talented, and he's honest, and he's local. He's married to a Lyndhurst girl who's from a very old Lyndhurst family. I know the entire family. And I say this again because it's so difficult to find a contractor unless they want to do a major job. And it's so difficult to find someone with a reputation. You know them, they're a part of your community, and you can trust them. So I will leave his phone number once again in the description box, because a lot of you messaged me for it. I did have it there the last time, but I know some of you have a hard time. If you're listening to me on Facebook, you don't see the description box because it's on YouTube. So I think I just wanted to make that clear. All right, so that's it for this week. And I originally thought this was going to be a slow news week, but we had a lot of news this week, didn't we? And no, do not forget, by the way, I'll be playing the recordings that we recorded yesterday, the week of Christmas. And don't forget, too, as I always tell you, check the batteries on your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. They save lives, and also do not forget to support our local merchants. They are the lifeblood of a local economy. And as always, a community is not its roads, buildings, or homes. A community is its people. Get to know your neighbors and let's keep Lyndhurst the wonderful family-oriented community it always has been. See you next week, folks. God bless you.